Hi everyone, Intuitive Edge. Welcome once again to my channel. Thanks for joining me. It's time to take a look at our month ahead for March. Let's see what the energies have in store and what we might be able to glean from the cards. I'm going to shuffle up and we'll get started. So I began shuffling up, asking what are the energies coming up for March? And I heard the words, the King's Gambit. Now, I'm not sure what that means exactly. I do know that that is a term in chess, but as far as what that means for March, perhaps it means there may be some focus on the royalty in England, perhaps. Maybe there's some changes going on there. So let's see what that might mean. But defensively in chess, the King's Gambit, for those that play chess, it's a defensive move to protect the king. So I wonder if there is something to that. Okay, all right, I'm going to shuffle up. I'll be right back. I keep hearing the word Lord, and then I hear Wiltshire. I don't know if that's a place in the UK. If somebody could let me know that's from there, because I don't, forgive me, I don't know too much about that area. Wiltshire. I don't know if that's going to play a role in March or become a thing, or maybe there's going to be talk about that area, or maybe somebody prominent in that area. So as I'm shuffling up, and I'm feeling very drawn to the UK, I think there's going to be a lot of news coming out of there in the month of March, in the coming weeks, probably very soon. And it's not good. I wrote down, I was getting the image of being in a castle, and I was seeing like a woman, and it's kind of shrouded in dark, but I'm getting this image of a woman, and I'm just, it's a feeling of darkness, and it's not a good feeling. And I heard 7 steps, and it feels like there's a bunch of secrecy around 7 steps. I don't know what that means. It felt like there's either 7 steps removed from the truth, or there's something with the number 7 and steps. Okay. So I was feeling Catherine, that there's some news about Catherine, possibly also the king, but Catherine for sure. And so as I was just shuffling up here, asking about Catherine, what is this that I'm feeling? The first card out was the Devil card, and that's never good. I kind of jumped back when I pulled that card. The Crossing card is the King of Cups. So there could be a decision being made regarding her keeping something 7 steps removed. I think there's some secrecy going on. Something may have happened, and the energy is very secretive, but like layers of secrecy. Now, I got an image of something very dark, but I don't know if it's literal or symbolic, and I don't know if I want to share it. I mean, I just saw like somebody being grabbed by the ankles and like moved very quickly across the room, like shoved, like taken. So I think that could be symbolic, but it just left me kind of an icky feeling, like something was taken, something was moved and taken. We do have this card underneath, what's led up to this in that position, and that's a card of bondage, involuntary. I think something may have happened. This is the card on the coming up, the immediate future, which is a card of loss and sadness and grief. Can be betrayal as well. Let's see what else. Underneath card, let's see, we've got this. Taking on a burden. And the Seven of Swords, having to be very careful about this. Something is very delicate, very tricky regarding this. Maybe it's under wraps. Maybe there's, you have to be careful how rumors get started. You kind of have to watch that. Have to watch the rumor mill, but you also have to kind of manage something very delicate and very careful. So I think those energies are playing pretty big this month, and that may spill out into the news. It may be coming up that something not good. I don't think, I don't know if I think there was some people suspecting about Kate, that she may be ill. I'm not sure, but it doesn't leave me feeling good with that Devil card and the Eight of Swords and the Three of Swords coming right out. Okay, that's what I have for that. So there may be news coming out of the UK in March. I don't know what has happened with Catherine. I have to go back to this for a moment. But I couldn't help but think of Princess Diana when she passed, and how her boys were left without their mother. And it feels like there's that energy again of children being left without a mother. And so there could be some focus on that. People wondering how that will affect children. So that's just feels like that's coming in. With this story or this saga or whatever this is coming out of the UK, I'm feeling the energy of Catherine and wanting the truth to be told. There's a feeling of a cover-up or something that is being handled very delicately, again, under layers and layers of wraps. And it feels like there's something that needs to come out, or that the spirit or soul, on a soul level, that Catherine is wanting to get out, that there's something quite not right that needs to come out to the world. And I'm also almost feeling like this just feels like so similar with Princess Diana, not in the mannerisms of how things might turn out, but the end result is so similar. I feel like they had a lot of soul connections, even though I'm sure Kate was very little when Princess Diana passed. I feel like they have a soul connection, a soul bond that maybe was formed before they both incarnated on Earth, but they have a very strong bond. And there's something that their soul pact is completing or wanting to complete. They came to bring and shed light on some of the more difficult or dark aspects of that lifestyle. They came as exposers, and they wanted to, and they endeavored with their lives to shed light on it. And I feel like they have they have such similarity because they have the similar soul path and similar work to do in this realm. And so their lives are kind of mirroring each other's because of the similarities that they share. That was just off the cuff. I hope that made sense. What I'm feeling with this, and I guess I'm just going to be talking about this because it's not leaving me alone. I'm feeling like part of it is how much things are so scripted and regimented. It almost feels like that card that I just had, that Eight of Swords. It's like it's not all the message I'm hearing from, I guess, the soul level is that it's not all the same. It's not all easy. It's not all royalty and beauty and privilege. That there was a high cost that came with that privilege, and it almost felt like what should have been liberating was actually kind of soul crushing because of the expectations and the limitations that you have. And I'm trying to find that card here, so I want to pull that card out and look at it again. This is what I'm feeling. I don't know if I'm tapping into Kate's energy, Catherine's energy, but it's like there's two different worlds. There's the world that is portrayed, and then the world that actually is. And it feels like it felt like there was so much pressure put on to conform, to be, to do, that it felt like it was very crushing. Not a lot of ability to expand and create, and not a lot of joy. Just the nature of what she signed up for was actually very hard. And the public sees that as kind of they romanticize what it must be like to be born to privilege like that and to have that kind of fairy tale life. And yet the reality of it did not match what the public sees. And living with that, I think, was really hard, and is really hard for Catherine. And again, this is just what I'm picking up on, and I hope I'm not offending anybody. I'm not trying to offend anyone. I just think that there are a lot of differences. You know, it's kind of like any kind of famous person. They may show an outward persona, but maybe at home, their home life isn't very happy. People can put all kinds of fronts up. And I think there's a big front that is portrayed there. And on some level, both Catherine and Princess Di came to expose or shake that up, or maybe bring some light into the more heavy or dense or negative aspects of that type of life. And there's something that needs to be told. And I'm just feeling energy from Catherine, that there is something that needs to be told. And it will be told, is what I'm being heard. It will be told. Nothing can stay hidden forever. Things always have a way of coming to light. And the darkness flees even at the lighting of a candle. The smallest bit of light and the darkness flees. So there is light being shed and light coming in. And those souls, even though we know what happened to Princess Diana, it was a very tragic ending to her life, she did have a way and a measure of bringing brightness and lightness. And that was what her soul endeavored to do. And Catherine is much the same. That's what I'm feeling. So let's take a look at the ongoing farmer protests, since we're on the topic of Europe. See what's going on over there with those continuing to protest. What is going with that? How is it going? What energies might be coming up for those farmers that are protesting? Okay, let's see what we got here. Ooh, the card of refusal. This is being offered something and not wanting to take what you're offered. Not interested. We're not interested. We're not negotiating. We don't want what you're giving us. Yeah, not interested. Talk to the hand. That's kind of how that card is. We don't want your conformity, government rules and regulations. We don't want to conform. We don't want to come under your thumb. Yeah, that's what's crossing that talk to the hand. Whew. So the strength card is above it, meaning that there is a little bit of divine protection coming in. And strength, meaning that there's a lot of strength and resolve. This card again coming up is what's underneath. And that is restriction, bondage. The opposite of freedom and expansion. Let's see what else, what other cards we get here. You know, having the Ace of Cups in the immediate past, it's actually a really nice card of love. Loving energy. There could be a bending of the will of the government. I hesitate to say things like that to get people's hopes up. But I'm seeing the government having to acquiesce a little bit. They're having to walk it back or somehow shift it a little bit. Because I see the upper hand coming with the truckers. We have the World card, a card of success, a card of... They're getting the upper hand, the farmers are. And what I keep seeing... Oh, wow, that's really interesting. Okay. I always like to look at the artwork on the cards because it tells me messages. So when I was looking at this card, I was seeing an X over the mouth. And I'm realizing there's not an X there. That's just the mouth. But I was seeing it as an X. I swear, I looked down, it's like, there's an X. There we go, X. Like, unable to speak. Like the government is unable to speak. Maybe they're unable to get their message through. They're unable to... I think this force of the farmers uniting is actually having an impact. And it's straight up saying, we don't want what you're selling. We don't want what you're trying to give us. And they have the success card. That success card is looking back at the Hierophant, saying, I've got the upper hand. I'm winning this. You be quiet. That's what I'm feeling. Let's see. Just a few more cards out here. We have the Lover's card on the outcome. Some sort of partnership coming together. There is, and again, focusing on this World card, I'm drawn down to this lion, and it's next to, it's kind of this way on the spread, but this lion energy with the Strength card, and I was just pulled into the lion here. That takes a lot of courage. We associate lions with courage and strength, and there's a lot being pulled into this. I think these farmers have got the upper hand. This card's underneath, a card of the future. What kind of future do we want? The future's at stake. That may be what's motivating it. If we don't have our farms and our food, and if we're forced to give up our farms and we can't feed the world's population, people are going to starve. Europe knows what that's like. Factions over on that part of the world, I'm in the United States, but they went through the Second World War and the First World War, and they know what starvation can do and how that is oftentimes manipulated. So they have the upper hand. There's a messenger on the environment around, and that is the Page of Wands. A message about taking action. I don't see this slowing down. It feels like they are bending the will of the government, not the other way around. And that's really unique, because usually governments, talking here as a United States person in the United States, the government usually wields its authority and power, and the people are dragged along. This is different. This is like, we are going to tell you what the terms are, how this is going to be, and what we're not going to put up with. And they honestly, they have a measure of success with this. And that surprises me. Because I don't like to get people's hopes up, you know. And I'm not saying this is going to be easy, but I'm saying that they're going to, the farmers have a measure of success with this. And this is going to reshape the dialogue. And I'm wondering if these globalist types, the types that endeavor to enslave humanity, if they're not a little bit worried by this, and maybe a bit surprised, because for many years humanity, in general broad terms, has acquiesced, given up their power, given up things that they shouldn't give up, but they give up too easily. And I think this has surprised a lot of people, that there's this much resolve and this much continuing. I think sometimes these kinds of things become a waiting game. Oh, okay. The government says, oh, okay, people are uprising. Give them a week. They'll tucker out and get tired and go back home. Well, this has been going on for weeks and it's not stopping. It's gaining momentum. So this almost feels like you're on our terms now. We call the shots. The people are saying this. We call the shots. We're not doing things your way. And end of discussion. That's what I'm feeling with this. Well, that's what I'm getting with that for March. That's got some really nice energy on it for the people's sake, and for the farmer's sake, and for the world's sake. You know, you don't want to mess with food supply. Leave the farmers alone. You know, back in the 80s, we used to see all the time, people had bumper stickers, no farmers, no food. And occasionally you'll see those still. But that was a really big thing back then. No farmers, no food. Support the farmers. Don't diss on the people who bring you your food. All right, let's take a look at the United States. I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm just barely shuffling up and I'm just like, the southern border is a huge problem. A huge problem. I do feel like there's a mobilization of dissident troops. People are worried about military-aged men primarily coming over the border from places like China and Syria, of all places. Syria. Let's see what the cards have in store. What do we have going on for the United States overall in March? I am so drawn to that southern border. I'm feeling like the California border is actually really bad. That one is like a hotbed for activity. And the crazy thing about this border thing is it's not families with children and people wanting a better life. These are military-aged men primarily. And we don't know where they're from. We just had a pandemic in 2020 where you couldn't go anywhere without a mask and a vaccine passport and all of that. And now it's just like free-for-all. These governments make no sense. They make no sense. All right, free-for-all border. What's going on down there? What's going on with the border? Can it be fixed? Will it be fixed? What is happening? What do we need to know? Let's just look at the energies here. Okay, ooh, card of refusal again. Whew. There is hope, though. Oh my, what is this? What is this? Hold on. I'll get there in a minute. Have patience. I'm just laying out the cards. All right. Okay, this is kind of surprising me. The first card out was that card of refusal. Not wanting what you're giving me, but we're crossing with this Nine of Cups. There is some type of good energy with this, of having hopes or dreams and taking action. We have this Ace of Swords crowning this whole thing. The Sword of Truth. The energy of this is really strange to me. Underneath, I've got this King of Wands. And he's looking back at the past card. He's facing into this card. And I'll tell you what I'm seeing here in a minute. This is a card of working on something, putting a plan to action, actually getting down to business and working on something. But it has to do with a leader. I'm wondering if there's a shift or a change coming with the border issue. With that Nine of Cups crossing and the Ace of Swords taking action, and then the Temperance card. This is like, we have to let this play out. There is something coming, though. It requires patience, a lot of patience. The Strength card is on the United States. And then moving on from something on the environment. I'm wondering if there's going to be something that is shifting or changing the border crisis. Because there's the Seven of Cups, card of confusion, and then having to leave. So, card of confusion, too much going on, it's like what we're concerned about. Having to move on, okay. I know I'm really jumbled, but I'm seeing this like a story emerging from this pattern of cards. We have working on something, there's a shift or a change that's requiring a little bit of patience, but it's going to cause an exodus that's going to result in this. I'm seeing this person's having to walk back away. And it's like these cups are coming in as a barrier. That's how I'm seeing it. It's a card of having to move on and walk away. Now, I don't know that border thing is going to solve overnight. I don't think it will. It's too chaotic. But there's something coming through that's going to turn people away. I don't know what this is. I don't know. I don't know if people are going to be turned away. I mean, right now, it's just, get everybody, as many people here as we can. I think it's to, have replacements. A lot of people are saying that. I happen to think that that's true. Replacing people. But there's something about it shifting. And people having to move, maybe go back home. Or volunteering to go back home. Or some sort of blockade. So my question is there a shift or a change coming that's going to cause this border crisis to begin to turn around? Maybe people don't come. Maybe there's a shift or a turnaround. We don't want to come, or something, or you have to go back home. 9 of Cups? 9 of Cups crossed by this having to work on something. Somebody's working on something that's actually positive. And we got that Temperance card again. Temperance up top. Wheel of Fortune. Wheel of Fortune on the future. That's a card of fate, karma, destiny. The wheel of karma is spinning. There's something about a king. Guys, again, I don't like to just give people undue, hope. I'm not a doom and gloomer, but I don't like to give people false hope either. But there could be a change or a shift coming with that border. And it may be small. Don't look for it to change overnight. I don't think that's what this is saying. But seeing that Wheel of Fortune and the card right next to it is this card, the card of triumphal entry, the card of reward, recognition, good work. It's got the king right under there. So maybe there's some negotiating or something happening. Again, my little brain, I'm like, I can't imagine what that could be or would be, because the administration right now is doing everything in its power to encourage the border invasion. I mean, does the Supreme Court step in? Does Congress decide to pull something out of the hat and fix this crisis? Is there a stop? But there's something about a wish being fulfilled. Something is being worked on to fulfill that wish that's going to shift and change and move things on. And we have the Queen of Swords on the outcome, the final outcome. This is like getting to the bottom of something. So, where's the bottom of the deck? Oh, the World card? Success? What? Okay. Color me crazy, but there's a shift or a change coming that's going to affect that southern border. And it may not be as easy to cross, or there may not be as many people coming across. Now, we'll have to see. I mean, the way things are going, I would never, ever, ever say that, because that sounds crazy talk. Because right now, it's like this porous open border, and people are flooding in from all over the world, not just from Mexico and South America. They're coming from China. They're coming from Syria. They're coming from who knows where else. I mean, what other country does that? What other country? Oh, yeah, come on in. We're not going to vet you. Just free for all. United States. My, how we have fallen over the years. I will have to say that about my crazy country right now. I think I'm going to stop here. I know there's more, but this has gone on long, and anyway, I'm going to get back on here and do another video later. Thanks for bearing with me. Some interesting things coming up. Some good things. I think March is going to be interesting to see how things pan out. I do think for the UK, it might be a little bit of some sad news coming out. The farmers look like they're doing well. And the southern borders, something's changing there. So we will see what happens in March. All right, everyone, take care. We'll see you next time. Bye for now.